Uh, Thank you very much, Professor Ravinder Tiwari, Dr. Arun Grover. It's been absolutely fantastic listening to both these talks and to have all of you over here. This idea of all of us working together is an idea, as Professor Grover pointed out, keeps coming up from time to time. And the reason it keeps coming up from time to time is that it usually is not implemented, so people keep thinking of doing it. And you have actually done it now, so I don't think this idea will come up again. It's there. That's a very, very good thing, and congratulations. Now, you had a list, Professor Grover, of a wish list of what needs to be done now. And that's no problem in actually getting all of that going. I would add to that a few points which will help that wish list, but also can catapult the CRIC to much higher global levels. I was discussing this at dinner yesterday, and I said, given the quality, the intellectual quality, the resources, the human resources, and the infrastructure available here, CRIC reaching out in addition to this area into Punjab and Haryana at one side, and to Himachal, Uttarakhand, parts of Jammu and Kashmir on the other, can become both a caretaker of the third pole, as it were, the Himalayas, the entire ecosystem in terms of science and technology and what we could do there, and in terms of health, agriculture research, and finally in terms of expanding into industry in a big way. These are immense possibilities. The resources for these can come if you go to the Government of India's budget allocation and look at the kinds of budgets allotted for major missions. There are huge budgets for a nutrition mission, for the health mission, for the Ganga mission, and so on. Science and technology has major roles to play over there, and you taking on challenges which can go into those can get all the resources you need. In addition, I do agree that direct allocation of resources for state government and so on, state universities is needed. The specific linkage, I like many of the aspects which have been brought out by the policy documents. The linkage between district industrial centers and university ecosystem, the linkage between university ecosystem and industry is something which we are very intensely discussing at the highest level of government. There is a program which will be announced very soon, which has both got pull and push. What do the districts need, and how can the best of science and technology go there? What does industry need? How can the best of science and technology go there? What does defense need, and how can the best of science and technology go there? Right? So all of this in terms of their demand. And secondly, in terms of what they can give. There's a lot of innovation taking place at the district level, at the industry level, at the defense level, at other sectors, and how can university benefit from that by taking that to commercialization. The challenge of going from idea to startup is one kind of challenge which university, academia, industry, ecosystems can take up. But going from that to commercialization, whether it is commercializing the inventions and discoveries and the technologies of defense labs, or from other national labs, or from the universities, is a big challenge. This gap is called the market failure gap, or the valley of death, where industry doesn't come in because they don't see profits there on matters which are of social good or matters which have not yet been fully developed. There are mechanisms now which the government should step in, work, so that our industry, our technologies, our needs are fulfilled in this market failure gap. The Andhra Pradesh MedTech zone is an excellent example. There are extraordinary organizations of high-tech equipment there which allows industry to use to go to the next level. So we have decided at high levels in government to have two more MedTech zones, one near the national capital region and one probably in the western region. You should push and compete for that. And even if you don't have a full zone like that, you can have another kind of zone here, because the kind of innovation going on here is absolutely fantastic and can scale up phenomenally. I was talking to Dr. Vasudeva on the train. In the days where import of technologies was not feasible, cities like Jalandhar and Ambala, de novo came up as the centers for developing laboratory technologies, which were sold all over the country. Today the technology has changed dramatically, but your ecosystem now can feed back into cities, tier 2, tier 3 cities, so that the best of science and technology can go and be developed there. So the district industrial centers, that concept is a very good one. You have many technologies which are available, a lot of exciting science, so this link can be done very well. So I won't take more time, I know we have to go, but I thank Dr. Manjeet for having a very fantastic interaction yesterday and for his hospitality, and thank you all for patiently listening to our speakers. I learned a lot at least, and I hope you did, and thank you very much for having me.